Hello everyone, welcome to Discover RPG. I forgot to do a sound check, so we're just gonna wing it. How are you doing today, players?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine.
So good.
I haven't changed any of your volumes, it should be fine.
Just let us know if you can't hear us.
Yeah, I think they can probably hear you. So, I hope everybody in the chat's doing very well. Welcome to your Tuesday night D&D as we are Shenanigoons, the Book of Fables, that kind of D&D, definitely D&D, kind of fairy tale campaign where you contribute to the chaos. We are continuing our journey through some books. Kyle, you haven't talked yet. There's no confirmation of your voice volume, apparently. Fuck off. Make mouth sounds. Clever. No, actually, I take that back.
Don't.
I take that back.
What you wish for, Angela.
I take that back because I distinctly remember regretting that decision a few months ago. It's fine. It's fine. I'm pretty sure I got back at you for that. Like, with something. I don't remember what it was, but I got back at you. So, as I said, I hope everybody's doing okay today. We are here to entertain you. And of course, we are here because we are members of the Nerdsmith Network, which you can find on nerdsmith.org, or if you like what you're watching and you like what you've been watching, hopefully been watching, you can support us on Patreon, or just follow us on Patreon, because we will be posting regular content that's just free for everybody in public. So if you just want to get cool stuff from us directly, and not wait for the Twitter, which you should totally be following us on Twitter, but you get stuff directly on whichever is the easiest for you to get information from us, we recommend. We are here thanks to a number of really kick-ass sponsors. First and foremost, World Anvil. World Anvil is an incredible tool, and more importantly, it's December in World Anvil, so it is World Ember, which is a writing challenge month. There are lots of, it's basically reach a certain number of words in your entire World Anvil site, and you can submit articles for prizes depending on the subject matter. There's a bunch of different categories to submit for, and you can get some really cool sponsored prizes. So please take a look, go check out worldanvil.com today, and use the link in our account or in our chat to go check out the World of Vale, which is where our story takes place in a very tiny part of it. We are also sponsored, and I forgot to put a button for them. We are a very proud affiliate of Hero Forge. Hero Forge, you know them, you love them. They make real cool stuff, and they just came out with sitting gestures, and I'm so excited about it. So and this is thanks to frequent viewer and one of my players, Mitch, who revealed to me that if you go into the vehicles section, the rides section, where there's a motorcycle and a wolf and a horse and all that stuff, there are now chairs. There's a chair and a barrel and a treasure chest and a rock, and you can have your characters sitting in a couple of different poses, and you don't have to fake it by putting a drum under their squatting body. It's great. I now want to go back to all of the characters that I've put in weird semi-seated poses and give them a genuine chair. How many thrones have I kit bashed together with shields and tails, and now I can just put them in a chair and add some stuff to it. Anyway, so please check them out. That is probably only available to pro subscriptions for now. There are a bunch of pro features, including getting early access to all of their stuff. Because it's the month of December and everybody does fancy stuff, also be sure to check out their Advent calendar. Every day this month they're going to be putting out a new little feature, probably a new prop or a new hairstyle. There is currently an amazing shirt that just got put out. It's shoulder down to the shoulder, and strapped with belts. It's very nice. It's like a peasant shirt with like 3 belts corseting it. It's very good. So you should check it out if you're a pro subscriber. And if you decide you want to sign up for a pro subscription to get all the fancy new stuff, if you can't be patient, because apparently your patience is this music, you can use our link. If you use our link in the chat, you will be directly supporting us. We get a commission credit if you use that link. So you're just monetarily supporting us while also getting something kick-ass from them. So we would love if you did that if you decide you want to up your subscription, because it's very, very worth it. Especially if you use Hero Forge as much as we do. And finally, most belovedly, I accidentally opened a button. Didn't mean to do that. Nobody worry about that. Nothing happened.
No.
Y'all didn't see nothing. You saw nothing. Anyway, I just pressed the wrong button. And finally, posting up at the thing, we are also sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is a beautiful company, and Tessa wants to talk about what we're promoting this month.
Yes, in my hand is the lovely sapphire and gold dice. They are a jade style dice, so they are semi-translucent and have the look of jade stone. It is very nice. It's a very beautiful blue color.
Oh, it's very well focused.
You know, I discovered that if I leave them in the little container they come in, it actually focuses on my camera a lot better. Amazing. They are gorgeous, lovely, and you can get yourself a set of them at dieharddice.com. And if you use the coupon code DICEDRAGONS, you will get 15% off your entire order as long as you order before December 20th. Because the Die Hard Dice holiday sale is going on now. If you order after the 20th, you will only get 10% off your order, but that's still an amazing discount. And when you use that coupon code DICEDRAGONS, it actually not only gives you the benefit of a discount, but it actually does help us as a network pay for cool things like players, artwork, our music subscriptions, things like that. So you buying dice directly impacts our bottom line and budget. So please go to Die Hard Dice, get yourself some lovely math click-clacks, and also help support Nerdsmith in the process.
Help us accidentally end up in a pizza parlor.
Yes.
Of which is not on this playlist, so we're fine. It will definitely come up another time, though. I need to make sure I go sift through and find it. It's like, get out of here, Sabaro. I don't want you here.
Lies.
I know, Sabaro doesn't play music.
Yeah, right.
You're in the mall. If anything, it's
Sabaros
just
in
Katy
so
Perry or
long.
something. It's fine. It's just, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, so, lastly, before we get started, we are, as I said, a place where you contribute to the chaos. Be sure to check out, we'll have it up all session, as we are sadly down a Heather who had important work stuff that came up last minute, and we love her very much. But make sure you check out our Streamlabs tipping area. So if you tip at those different levels, you will have the ability to mess with the game, including $5 tip adds a reroll of a d20 to the party. They have a pool of dice that they can use, or a pool of rerolls they can use for that. $15 spins the Wheel of Causality, which is a random effect table that I need to update soon. It is something that has meta and in-game nonsense for the characters to deal with. You choose the character you would like to spin. Make sure you put that in your comment when you tip. $25 is helping me by creating an NPC for me to use in the session. Give me some information, their name, their appearance, their pronouns, a fun little detail about them, and I will incorporate them into the session as best I can. I should really put there as a warrant, as a guarantee, within the next 2 sessions, they will absolutely feature, depending on when you do it. And finally, at the $50, we have had these a surprising number of times. DM Ex Machina, pick the player of your choice, and please give someone a minute of DM powers. I will take my hands off the wheel, and you will have to control where we go, players. So that is all I have for now. I'll have some more for you all after the word from our mess. What? Anyway, we're gonna play the intro.
After
Bye.
our intro.
Welcome back.
Too tight.
And just some slightly more intense music now. 'Cause we're in a slightly more intense situation. So,
Camping?
yes, you're camping. Unless you count spawn camping. You're kind of doing that. You all appear through a portal. The previous nonsense, you make a mental note to tell Raffida, Admiral Von Meeks, that you saw her in a book.
In a
leave-
magazine. She paid to be there.
Yes, you leave the dating simulator and you arrive in a space that is wide open, vaguely reminiscent of the chronograms, the clockwork cities that you all either grew up in or adjacent to. Except in the distance of this bright, shining, mechanical place with all of these symmetrical, rectangular buildings and fluttering mechanist creatures, you see sort of a fog, like the haze of daytime. And in the distance, you see more of these rectangular box buildings made of brass or gold or some sort of shining metal. More and more and more of them. And also in the sky, you see written in every conceivable language you can think of, it basically translates to the index. Or the catalog. There's a couple of different variations on the translation depending on the language you're looking at. Why don't you all give me an insight check?
Nope.
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 Okay. Anything to be worried about, or just nope?
Just a
Just a no.
profound nope.
Okay.
17.
Insight?
Profound but not catastrophic is what I'm hearing.
15.
15,
I rolled
okay.
a 9, so I got a 17.
17, okay, so Oliet and Paru, you both are smart cookies. The evidence around you and the way that Mechanist works, you have a feeling that this is how they're tracking all of the information they're gathering in the in those archives. The last one you went to, you know that the chronograms all have some sort of archive, but yeah, that's what this seems to be. Maybe like a card catalog of sorts, a listing of everything that has been collected by the realm of Mechanist. One hopes on your home world, but you're not 100% sure. You have no evidence yet of anything. Go ahead.
If this is everything that they've collected, does anyone else have the impulse just to... Oliet, I know what I'm about to suggest is absolute treason. What if we reorganized the table of contents? Haphazardly and destructively.
Okay. Not a terrible idea, honestly, other than I'm worried that the second we touch literally anything, they're going to know we're here. There's no way that there is this much order without somebody monitoring it to
It's a
ensure that it
chaotic
stays in
order. It's a dense order.
Sure.
It's like they're hoarding, but everything's still alphabetized.
Right.
Well,
But we
I will say. Oh, go ahead. It's more important that you guys talk your shit out.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, but we could maybe test it somewhere small and see what happens. We don't, as long as we're not destroying the data, because it's like, let's be respectful, right? But moving things around is not a bad idea.
I originally was going to say destroy, but I figured you would not be particularly happy about the idea of destroying any sort of library or book.
That's fair.
Amadine chimes in. That's also a little antithetical to my existence as well.
Yeah,
I'm all about changing, maybe not burning.
Oh, no, I would never burn a book.
That's too many CO2 emissions.
I just changed the color on the spine on that one over there.
Are there any holes anywhere?
You should just make anagrams of all of the authors' names. Just mix them up and make anagrams. The titles are all new that way. The letters are all there. They just say different things.
I'm so meta, even this acronym.
Yes.
So, your newest companion, Malfrida, she's just gobsmacked, jaw open, staring at everything.
Well, we can also try and figure out where you're from, Elfrida. If there's any information on it, we'll probably find it here.
How, though?
Well, there's a system. Just there's always a system. There's no this. We just got to figure out what the pattern is, right?
Amadine is like glancing down a row of what look like brass books, and she just says, I'm sure you're right, but this system makes my brain scream.
Sure.
Brain scream is not good.
I'm okay. First thing we need to do is take a break. I have an incredible headache. Like, are the rest of you hearing that ringing, or is that just me?
I hear trumpets.
Oh, dear.
I
would...
don't have any... I don't have any spells left.
I'm not opposed. I'm not actually that tapped out, but I have no problem standing watch or something.
I can make us a place to stay if we can find somewhere where we're a little bit obscured. I can get us somewhere that's a place to crash that is safe.
I could try to make an adjustment to something that's more in line with what the structures are. Not out of place. Just, cut a rectangular hole somewhere.
Well,
looking around, does it look like there's anything where we could, any direction?
Go ahead and give me everybody give me perception checks as you kind of look around and try to assess the area.
25.
15. I was like, that's really good for me.
But 15's not bad.
16 is not bad.
16? Okay, so we'll start small and then work our way up to Para. So,
Sorry.
no, it's great. Everyone's got to have specialties, and noticing shit is one of yours. So, Oliette and Harland, the group kind of spreads out a little bit, glancing around, looking for evidence of, just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And you both see a little bit of, actually, these are very, very tall. Like, when you were kids, how tall the bookshelves were in the archives, 20 times taller. relative. These are tall fucking building things. They almost look like, you know, the funny thing is the whole landscape, what you can make out of the landscape kind of looks like not that your characters have any context for this, kind of looks like a circuit board. It's like this idea of like everything in these little rectangular jutting out shapes all down the rows. It's like someone bronzed a circuit board. And
Amazing.
And so it almost looks like a weird little city. I mean, it kind of is a city. Do you just kind of look down? What are, for all intents and purposes, they kind of just look like streets. They're probably about, 20, 30 feet across, go all the way down. Do you just look down? Do you try to get some height? Do you do anything to get a better view or better lay of the land?
I poke my head in a couple of directions, maybe get a little high off. I'm not going to obviously try to get like to the tops of any of these, but I would just
but
like
get a
to
little, just so you have some view.
Yeah, if any of these pathways have like a little maybe nook where we can kind of hide, or maybe
Gotcha.
dimly lit, anything like that.
Everything is so uniformly lit here. It's just like,
Sense that tracks.
yeah. Go ahead and give me a stealth check as you start climbing up the building a little bit, or start flying up the building a little bit.
Stealth. Okay.
Before you fly off, Vin kind of like grabs your arm and kind of squeezes a little bit and casts guidance. Careful.
Okay. I'm never careful.
I'll be a little more careful.
Ooh, 23 with guidance.
Very good. So, you flutter up a little bit, and as you climb in height, you see how many of these little buildings exist. As I said, they're probably about 20 times 6. Yeah, they're like 100 feet tall. They're huge. And they're in maybe there's a slight variation in height, but you see a little ahead what maybe looks like a clock tower. It's got this sort of this spherical shape on top of it with a bunch of rings, and it's slowly turning. Actually, the orbitals are turning at different rates, so the inner ones are rotating faster, and the outer ones they're probably all rotating at the same speed, but they look different because physics. But it's this sort of rotating spherical assembly, and you catch a little flutter in the sky. There's a vague bit of fog, just a little bit of like a mist, but it's a little hard to see in that way that mist in the morning when the sun comes up is a little hard to see. And you see what looks like a very large monodrone. So like a big clockwork orbital shaped creature with much more substantial wings than you normally see on them, and with this big eye as it like floats by. You hear a distant as it kind of moves across. It's like a bee has been magnified and put through a subwoofer. And you also catch a couple of things climbing up some of the buildings. Nothing near you, but in the distance. Tall, with multiple arms, just kind of climbing up, looking to reach in for something, and then like climbing back down. It looks like they might be sorting. And you see a couple of those monodrones, and then you see a little glimmer of a couple of smaller things around, fluttering through the air, but they're going in very clearly delineated, like along the what we'll call streets. So it's a grid system, and they are just going like they're Pac-Manning. They're just completely in some sort of circuit, going around in those. So you think, if you can somehow move outside of the grid, you might be like completely out of their view. They're only ascribing to this very particular path.
I was gonna ask, are there, so I see the ones that are obviously doing some sort of patrol or something in the skies in the distance. Do I see anything near us on foot? Like anybody making their way down
with a 15, not nearby.
Okay.
They would if anything's happening, it's happening way further than you can see.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Or
I'll come
or
back down
it's
and
or in
report.
and of itself, it is very stealthy or something. Like you don't
That
see
makes
anything.
sense. I will tell all of that to my companions.
Cool. At the same time you were doing that assessment, Harland was looking street to street on the ground. Were you doing anything in particular to focus your kind of search, Harland, or are you focusing for anything in particular as you're looking around? Or are you just kind of similar to Oliette, looking for anything that could spot you?
I think Harland was looking for maybe a there's a lot of stuff happening in places, like things are going on. So Harlan, I think, is looking for places where nothing is happening.
Okay,
where
you're
there's
looking
like
for a quiet spot.
Yeah, like a gap in, you know, the structure, or, you know,
Oh,
some
absolutely.
sort of like, because Ollie had said to, you know, if we could find a quiet, out of the way place, and, you know, Amity was talking about cutting a hole in something. So like finding a, you know, a place where it doesn't look like things would be sorted into, essentially.
In honor of recent movie releases, you're just humming, "There's a place for us." Anyway, sorry. I'm also putting something into Shenanigans chat. For you, Oliette, just focus on the floaty dude with one eyeball. That's what I was kind of trying to, like just big arms dragging as it's just kind of floating around. That is very similar to what the chronograms look like, though. So if you want to vibe. So Harland, you look around and you are trying to get a handle on all of these buildings. They look like buildings, but they're structured more like weird, impossibly complicated machines. There's a little bit of movement everywhere. They look like they're just nothing machines. You know, like they just have movable parts to have movable parts, or you just do not understand the level at which they're working at. It could be either, given what you've learned about Mechanus.
I feel like it's like
It's a little both.
looking
probably.
behind the Disney curtain. I'm gonna mix my metaphors here.
Go
like
for it.
Dark City, like where it's, you know, like behind
Everything's
one
just
of the
nonsense
buildings.
Clockwork.
Yeah.
Everyone is just a steampunk cosplayer that puts gears on everything. But these move. It's one of the fancy ones. No offense, I like steampunk. I just don't like steampunk where you just add gears to everything. It's fine. But so this is impossibly complicated. You actually, as you're walking around, you see Vin just kind of walk up to a building, and you just watch his head slowly quirk to the side as he's trying to be, what the bloody hell? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. And he like almost goes a little upside down trying to figure out what the fuck's happening. But you, searching for something quiet, see that there are a few, by just virtue of the fact that there's a lot of moving parts, there's some weird little alcoves and stuff. So there are a couple little things that you could maybe sneak in. At the moment, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. It'd be a tight squeeze. You might have to find more than one spot. There might be one across the street from the one you find that they probably all could fit like maybe 3 people a piece, 3 to 4 if you really go. If Vin stays small, you can fit 4 in one of them. We'll say, for the purposes of helpfulness, maybe Vin could hang with you guys, and Amadine and Melfrida and Beza could hang out somewhere else.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's almost like I introduced too many NPCs.
What?
So,
What?
so you see a couple of little off to the side spots. Paru, with your extrasensory perception, what kind of focus do you want to have? It can be a duplicate of theirs, but I just want to know what actions you're doing or what your focus is. I'm trying to find.
I think my main focus right now is just honestly trying. I know that we need some place to lay low.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for any blind spots where we couldn't be spotted. Not just an absence of activity, but like actively searching out the spots where even if someone was to come by, we would be completely unseen.
There are not a lot of actually. No. This looks like a street, but there's nothing like... There's no sewer access or anything like that. You do see the kinds of things that Harlan sees, where there's just so much... There's so much moving parts. There's so many, like, weird mechanical buttresses and little...
Sorry.
butt dresses. There's so many, like, there's little alcoves built out of these weird shapes of these buildings. And so yeah, you think that if you're quiet, if you're still, maybe Amadine could help a little bit in constructing something that would create an illusory wall, basically like illusory terrain kind of thing.
Yeah, between Amadine and I probably... Oh, nope, I don't have access to that spell. I don't have that spell slot right now. So yeah, Amadine. Help.
The other thing you see as you are wandering around is you go down one of the buildings, you see an alley down one of the buildings, and you hear this sort of whooshing sound, this kind of sounds a little like the wind, with some little crinkle tinkles in there, like some magic. I didn't know how better to explain that.
I hear the words crinkle tinkles, and I must investigate.
It's true.
For so many reasons.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check if you want to go quietly.
Ooh. Ooh, my stealth is not as good as I was thinking it was, but that's still a 16, so I'll take it.
16?
For some reason, I thought I had a higher stealth.
Okay. Let's sneak a dice. Okay. You walk forward, kind of hugging the wall, trying to see, and you see a little bit of glow and a little bit of a wavering in the air, like heat. And as you get a little closer, you're probably about 30 feet off, and you're trying real hard to take a look, and it almost looks like a portal. Kind of the edges of it look a little molten. And do you want to get closer than that, or do you...
Yeah, I do.
Okay, give me another stealth check.
Never said Paru was a smart one. I'm gonna use one of our rerolls, please.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'll mark that off.
Because that was a 1.
Yeah, I figured. Most people don't have that reaction when it's not a 1. Is that a 2? Okay.
Because I don't want to use up any more worse.
It's okay. It's okay. You're stressing a little bit. You kick something. Shit. You're like, why is there even trash here? There's no people. Who was drinking Red Bull?
What the fuck is Red Bull?
That's Oliette's secret. She's not actually that kind of tiefling. She just drinks way too many energy drinks. It gives her wings.
Dead.
Haru, you get a little closer, and the sound gets louder, which almost helps cover the noise. And you see inside this portal, or inside this like sort of weird lit portal space, mechanical creatures moving around on multiple pointed legs. They almost look spider-like. And they look to be... You'd say they almost look like they're weaving a web, but it looks less like they're building something and more like they're slowly disassembling. There is a portal path going deeper at a weird angle, like it's just kind of traveling on, you'd say maybe underground, but you know portals can go anywhere. And as they're slowly, like with these little crab appendages, are slowly disassembling pieces, and they are just floating into the portal deeper. They're just slowly disassembling and moving, slowly disassembling. And there's two of them, and they're just kind of circling each other in the portal. They look like they're like tunneling through the building and slowly taking pieces off and letting them float through into some lit space at the other side of the portal. You can't really see through it, but the edges of the portal have that almost burned metal, burned book look to them.
Like they're destroying evidence almost, or just destroying
not
information?
so much. Give me another insight check.
Okay, well that's better. 18 plus 8, 26.
You're watching them work, and you see as they take little pieces, the little pieces of mechanics, little pieces of gears and things start turning into motes of light that occasionally have the semblance of words or letters or numbers or things like that, pieces of data. And then you watch them just float. It doesn't feel like they're being destroyed. It feels like they're just being moved.
They're cataloging it almost, maybe. And that's how it's cataloged? Huh, I'll have to...
It does look like they're doing it to existing stuff in the catalog.
Yeah. Like they're moving data in the catalog, so... Okay. I make a note of it, and I will take that information back to the group, because Paro is not quite smart enough to figure out what is happening.
So you head back, and as Harlan and Paru point out these spots that you can, those are their names, Kyle. Cut and paste.
Amazing.
So as you all assemble back in, looking through the space, you guys can talk a little bit as Amadine is working on creating, she's studying the building and trying to create some sort of illusory panel or something that can be put in front of you while you sit in a broom closet, basically, and rest. Not going to be super comfortable, but you can take a breather. We'll say Vin is in the room with you.
Anything
Sorry.
So wait, we're inside? I thought for some reason
There's
I thought
like
we
little,
were...
as Harlan was looking around, he found that there were little, like very shallow alcoves in some of the shapes. That he found that they weren't complete rectangles. There were some weird shapes as you looked through it.
And we
so
have to...
you'll have
and
to
we can fit in one, and they're fitting in another.
there's like
one.
enough for maybe 3 or 4 of you to fit in each of those little alcoves. So you have to be a bit separate as you're discussing things.
Okay.
Well, there's some sort of portal around the corner with these two little creatures that are like moving data somehow. Like it's shifting the data in pieces into the portal. I'm not sure exactly how or why.
Archiving it.
Yeah, potentially.
Right? Maybe putting it away.
Yeah, it looks like it's existing data, so that was my guess, but it's a thought.
Are you gonna put something new in its place, I wonder?
But I thought that was I thought this was the archive.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, there's like archives of archives. Like you don't have everything out on the floor. Sometimes you have to have like a backup storage space.
That I cannot say redundancy in a Scottish accent. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't think I can either. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a
There you
guess.
go.
Do you have a guess?
I was just confused. I'll think on it a bit.
What if? No, I'm sure. I mean, that would be crazy. But I was just, my brain just went, what if it was like a pathway to the Great Archive? And that's why it was all shimmerly and light and stuff. But
What if, I mean, what if it's like, you know, great grandmammy was a quilter, and you know, maybe this is like, maybe they're, you know, moving the piece of great Uncle Jeb's, you know, denim overalls over to a different spot in the quilt. You know, it's kind of like blocking it out. Maybe they're just rearranging to make it fit better.
Why would you put someone's trousers in a quilt?
nostalgia.
I don't know.
Nostalgia for what? His ass? I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to kink shame your Mima, Ireland.
Mm.
I'll have to ask her the next
Not
chance
impossible.
I get.
What? That Harlan's grandma Mima is kinky? I
Mima,
mean,
do you
guess.
like?
I mean-
It's like, Mima, do you like butts and you cannot lie? Sorry, it was terrible.
We don't have to think too hard about that.
You just have
Maybe
to
it just runs in the
cast-
family.
You just
know?
have to
Maybe it's
cast
just
zone of truth.
No, I don't think it's impossible that they're rearranging it. Although, I mean, obviously, we don't know what that would look like, so we don't know if they are or not. Maybe.
Or what if that's how you travel through the table of contents? If it's a card catalog, you have to be able to get to where the data is stored.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe they're hiding things. Maybe there's somewhere else that they're storing certain things.
Like the restricted section?
Kind of. Sort
Oh.
of.
What's it called when they have one of them documents and there's sections of it that you're not supposed to look at?
Redacted?
Yeah. Maybe they're doing that.
Maybe.
I mean, they do love to erase people's memories of shit.
I don't think it's. I mean, if they have everything in here, maybe there's something in here that's going to help us undo all of this. Maybe there's some sort of, like, I don't know, methodology section or something where we can find.
Oh, I just got, like, happy and depressed at the same time by the mention of methodologies.
Oh.
It's fine. I don't mind methodologies. It just makes me think I want to write a paper. I don't want to write a paper.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Why don't we go ask them?
I'd like to, in case things go absolutely ass up, I wouldn't mind resting first. But
I don't know.
knock yourself out?
don't do that.
I don't know.
Well,
This
I
is a
mean,
small.
literally.
Are we all? We're maybe I'm imagining
You're
too
in-
small. Are we standing
I'm
toe to
thinking-
toe?
I'm thinking maybe with a little more room, but not much.
Okay.
Like, basically, Villain scooted in and was like, excuse me. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cut it down to 4.5 minutes in heaven.
I mean, y'all can find your own claws. No kidding.
Awkward.
Paru does not say that. That's Tessa.
Well,
being
it's
a
really
shit.
good that Paru's not still thinking out loud.
Right? That would be problematic as fuck.
You
right
have
now.
both noticed, thank goodness, that you have stopped voicing your opinions out loud.
Good. I am happy with that.
I can't speak for either of you. I can't stand in a closet for 8 hours and get a good night's rest, so probably not much sleep in our immediate future.
Well, you never
But-
crisscross applesauce and just napped standing up or sitting up.
My butt was
But-
numb.
No, go ahead.
There's not even enough to make a spoon drawer.
What's the ground made of?
Metal.
No, well, I can't change the ground.
But Vin gets really excited. I may or may not have an entire living room in my hand. From Rose Upon the River.
So how do we get into your hand?
No! You
Oh!
get out, and then I bring a bed, and then someone can fucking sleep. Well, two people could probably fucking sleep. It was just like, it was one of the kids' beds. It was like a twin. There's room.
Yeah, that works.
If it's really a problem, I could make a bunk bed. If you give me a bed.
Do you need a hand?
Already got
You
one,
already
thanks.
got one.
We'll have a lot more room for activities.
Sure.
Actually,
What
it'll
kind
be
of activities are you
significantly
thinking?
less room for activities when I put the beds in. But no, yeah, let me try. And he like puts his arms out real quick. Like, let me see. Yeah, I think it'll fit. I'll make it fit if it doesn't.
Well, I mean, you and I can probably fit on one without a problem.
They're fine too.
Okay.
All right. So how about that?
Alright.
I'll ask the ladies if they would like an armchair or something, and we'll see how we go.
I
Is
can
that
at least add some spore lights, make it a little bit like little fairy lights in here, make it all nice.
we don't
and
have to
cozy.
go. All right, well, I guess. Nice, but
We don't have to.
is that all right with you, Sunshine? You look
Just
very
trying to-
suspicious.
I'm trying to understand how you're going to fit a bunk bed into a closet.
No, I
other
have
than-
2 twin beds,
Uh-huh.
which I can stack on top of each other, and me and Paru can take the top bunk for safety.
You're gonna.
For safety.
I'm not going to question the physics of what you're attempting to do here. I do have a lot of questions, but I'm going to let you do this. I
Great.
might step outside and maybe watch or something.
Oh, I was saying you'll get out so I could do it, and then you come back
Okay.
in when I haven't died under a bed.
Please,
your
please
best.
don't.
I'll do my
Try.
best.
You know. Slip
I got it.
out.
Yeah, sure. So you can quietly slip out. You move the little plate that Amadine created that has like almost like a holographic image of rotating gears and stuff, and you just kind of move it over. And let's see how we do.
It's like,
Just and Vin starts like scooting you, Harlan and Paru out, like you two, go,
alright.
give some room, let a man work,
Alright.
and he will do a decent job. You watch as he, and the bed kind of goes, climbs on top of the bed. Kind of squeezes it in a little bit, and it hits the ground tight. It's like it kind of squeaks. Okay. And then I can't do it like this. And you see him get taller and shed the Vin for a minute, and it's Villain. Okay, all right, I'm gonna try this again. And he is able to put his legs and arms on the wall, and like he climbs up a little, and then he goes, okay, this is like the stupidest thing I've ever done. And he opens his hand up, and the other bed just goes it's like on top of the first one. Okay, I think I did it.
Haru has so many comments.
I'm stuck. No, I'm not stuck. It's fine. And he lets go, and he turns back into Vin, and he hits the ground. Okay. That's pretty good. Looks good to me. I haven't died.
That is a plus.
And he crawls over the headboard, hops down onto the ground, goes, you all get comfortable. I'll ask the ladies if they want anything. And he kind of looks around and just starts, he makes a quick dart across. You do note that his armor really helps with sneaking around because it is almost like this see-through reflection. It's like he's not even in it. You see the reflection of what's behind him as he's running. So he blends and is kind of hard to see. And so the three of you can try to make do with what is literally those college dorm bunks that you could make into bunk beds if you really wanted to. But they don't recommend.
Harlan is going to take his shovel and prop it up, like, to make sure that the the one of the corners is supported, like, just kind of like wedge it in there, just like.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Also gives you a little bit of space to kind of like scurry into it. Are you getting flashbacks from playing a Faroche? You just have to noodle your way in.
Cannot burrow through copper.
Can burrow through bed. Yeah, don't do it. But you can if it's like pressed in on three sides very securely. So yeah, we'll say there is an ability to have a bit of a sleeping situation that is not just standing. And takes a little bit before Vin gets back. Do you guys do anything before Vin gets back? Talk about anything?
We like staying here?
Oh, I don't know where else we'd go. I didn't see any sort of other space to.
I don't think it's safe to stay in here for an extended period of time. If there's a way out of here, that probably would be safer. There's things that are like climbing the walls. It'll definitely notice when its hand goes through the wall and lands on a improvised bunk bed.
Well, maybe one of us should keep watch then at all times, just in case something gets closer, then we can scoot.
Why don't we... That sounds perfect. We could like nap for like an hour, we'll chill out and see how people feel.
I'd really like more than an hour if at all possible, but I understand.
Well, why don't you go to sleep now and we'll see how long we can make it work.
I'll try.
I don't mind watching.
Okay. She'll climb up to the top bunk and kind of try and get comfortable.
So,
I mean, I can, I can stay up and maybe make some of that white noise that helps people sleep. No, he pulls out a couple of spoons and starts to like
gentle. I was gonna say not even like chattering them together, just like gently rubbing them together to create like a shh noise.
Amazing.
Oh man.
or dragging the spoon up and down the wooden leg of the bed.
This feels like some weird ASMR stuff.
Yeah.
This is where you meet that ASMR. God of ear tingles? I don't remember what you're going for when you do ASMR. ASMR? I was just saying ASMR. But yeah, anyway.
Tingles, basically.
Yeah, gotcha. So you all see Verlaine run back. Rather, you don't see Verlaine run back. You notice he's pretty much back by the time he gets back. And he says, left a couple of chairs with cushions for him.
That's good. Pari was
good.
peeking over the top.
Hello.
Of the bunk bed. Hi.
I just figured I don't need the rest. I'm good. Well, I mean, I'm better, I guess. But yeah, we could rest for a little bit. Harlan, I'll take a watch. I'll take first watch if you want to rest.
I am going to use one of my class features to enhance the short rest that we are about to take.
Hey. Cool. All right.
He says in a manner that is not a meta
It's not at all
commentary.
static or anything. It's fine. Okay. And so I assume you're gonna do Song of Rest.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So here's the thing. You guys we'll do this as basically like a press your luck sort of thing. We'll treat it as if you are camping and you set up camp and people take watch. And you all tell me the order you sleep. Like, who are you prioritizing? So Oliet and Paru both need long rests. Is that what I'm getting?
I can get by.
Okay.
So I think
Paru needs a
sleep
long.
the longest.
Yeah.
if possible.
Okay. That's fine. And
Paru is drained.
Oliet has no intention of like doing a lot. Like this is not a situation where she wants to close her eyes and like let the dice fall where they may. That's not where she's at right now. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, if
Paru
Paru
needs to rest, we'll stop and we'll just go as long as we can.
if she was not out of spells and wild shapes, she would be fine with a short rest, but she is drained.
So I will say that according to technically the rules, a long rest does not have to be sleep. It says during which a character sleeps or performs light activity.
Cool.
So you could be reading, you could be talking or standing watch. Oh, sorry, hold on one second. Yeah. Standing watch for no more than 2 hours. But yeah. So if it's interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, which is at least an hour of walking, or not an hour of fighting, but fighting, casting spells, adventuring activities and stuff, then you interrupt the sleep. But as long as you're like still, you are technically resting. So you don't have to be unconscious.
That's good. Yeah.
If that helps.
Yes, but it does help to be on a bed at least and kind of like relaxing, even if she's not asleep.
So, let's go with Harlan. You're doing the Song of Rest. How long does that take? Is it just for the purposes of?
Hour.
Okay. So, so you're doing that. We'll say that while you're doing that, we'll say Vin is keeping an eye out, or keeping an ear out, I guess. I just had the worst thought. He's not gonna do it, but just leaves his eye out on the curb. Nope.
It's like Crumb.
Yeah, basically, just like reach out with a hand. We're fine. So he takes a spot and who said that? Who did that? Thank you for the $15.
Oh God, I'm so scared.
Who did it?
I know who did it. You rat bastard.
Thank you. Thank you, hall monitor. So, you all start getting ready for sleep, or getting ready for rest. Harland is playing. Oliet, are you in the bottom bunk? Or are you up still?
Yeah, I'm probably up still. I don't know where maybe I'm sitting up in the bunk because I don't think there's any room to stand, so.
Yeah, that's enough. You can sit up comfortably. It's a pretty tall bed.
I'll sit next to Harlan while he plays.
It was meant to give them the room to grow. Well, maybe they'll need him again. So you're sitting next to Harland. Paru, you lay down for a rest, and you hear a little creaking, and Vin climbs up onto the top bunk. Just sort of sitting at the headboard, basically, keeping a watch out. And yeah, he just sort of like scoots next to you. You just kind of feel him like sit up against you, but he's listening.
She kind of snuggles back against him just a little bit.
All right, and while that all is happening, and it's tense, but kind of weirdly nice to be just sitting still for 2 seconds. Oliet, I'm gonna need you to roll on the Wheel of Causality, because yay.
What?
It got picked. I don't know what to tell you.
Well-
Let me get the wheel up.
Okay, fine. Fine. Bring it on.
Where's the wheel? Where you at, wheel? There we go. Left wheel of causality. There we go. All right. Spin that wheel. Spin. Merely query. So, let me just double check
I
what.
killed because I'm really excited.
It's fine. You can be excited.
You're allowed to be excited.
So,
Absolutely.
merely query. For the next 30 minutes, I will set a timer. You may only speak in questions.
Oh my god.
30 minutes. And timer starts now. So, as we are resting, I will have Vin roll for traps. Okay. So, Vin is just kind of next to you, Paru. He doesn't make much noise. Just is listening. And see if Paru is actually. Are you actually asleep or are you just resting?
I think she's resting, but at some point she may start drifting.
Okay.
But I think right now she's just resting because she just, as weird as the confession and everything has been, she really just kind of wants to just enjoy being next to Vin. And if they want to talk, then she wants to be available for that. But I think at some point, like if he's not talking or saying or doing anything, then she might actually fall asleep on them.
Okay. You are able to get a little bit of rest. There is a sound outside. You hear that as one of the big Modron things passes overhead. And goes by. You don't hear anything out of the ordinary. You assume there's probably going to be some sort of alarm or at least a change in the soundscape if something were to be alerted to your presence.
I think maybe the big ones are looking out for something else. I mean, aren't they all supposed to have a specific job, right? Because maybe that's not their job. Maybe as long as we don't get one that's supposed to be monitoring the index for clerical errors.
You see Vin's head poke down underneath, like to where your bed is. This is supposed to be a book, right? Right? Like this is a book, like all the others we've been in.
I feel like I've mysteriously not been paying attention for the last several weeks, and
So
I'm
weird.
somewhat
Right,
out of sorts as far as even where we are.
If we're in a book, do they have a job? Or is this just like a weird manifestation of what the book is supposed to... Why the fuck isn't Almadine here? God damn it.
Well,
Maybe they all, like... Maybe they're not little monodrones. Maybe they're just fiction. They're just doing a job because it's what the book was written to do. Not to get too existential on you.
well, I mean, in that case, if as long as we don't act in a manner that is contrary to the contents of the book, then
Like destroying contents.
yeah, I mean, they shouldn't even notice us, right? It'd be like business as usual.
Sound?
Well, because I mean, weren't we in like a detective memoir?
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah. Hey.
You know, I think if we hadn't talked to anybody or hadn't interacted with anybody, I mean, maybe they wouldn't have even noticed us.
The people in the crowds didn't seem to. But that could have just been because they were unnamed characters. Spoilers, that's... They were just... The crowd moved around in the dark of the night, and so it was just nameless people.
In the dark of the night, evil will find her.
There's the least I could do. Sorry, it's been a really long time, but I have that in my head, apparently.
The second you said it, it was like in my head.
Hello, Raiders. Magic Fish Radio is the best thing I've heard today.
Magic Fish Radio is an amazing name, and I love it.
So, Vin's watch passes without much incident. We'll say he watches for a couple hours. You're able to get a short rest, at least. Who wants to go next in the watch?
Harland will take.
Sure,
So you said
Harlan.
we got 2 hours, so I'm gonna spend some hit points.
Cool. Yes, you can spend hit points for the 2 hours. Or for the short rest.
Tara was like, I'm taking this opportunity to snuggle. And sleep.
Valid. And yeah, he comes back up and puts an arm out and just kind of snuggles into you. All right. So Harlan, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I can do that. I'm okay at that. That's really good on the die. That's going to be a total of 23.
23. Okay. You're focused on listening for anything weird. And I guess seeing anything weird. Amadine did this fun thing, we'll say, that the panel she created is a little, like, two-way mirror, so that you can actually see a little bit outside. And everyone's trying to get a little rest, trying to not stress and not do anything too strenuous. And this whole space is like an alley. It's it's small, it's not deep, but it is like a little tall. And you're on the bottom bunk. You hear a little clanking sound and a little bit of a whirring noise, like a and kind of wheeling into view, you see. Now, you have seen this style of Modron before. General. Gosh, I'm not a fan of those two names. I get them confused all the time. Mechanist creature. Mm-hmm. You've seen things like this that are part of the police. By humanoid torso and arms and head, but on like a ball or on wheels. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a little more like the Dwemer in Skyrim, like the wheelie.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But not with the sword. You see a clockwork creature, with it's weirdly a little more battered and rusted than you would have expected. Has multiple sets of lenses around its face and like these little irised eyes that just shut and open for blinking, and little dots of green light. And he's holding what you think might be like a cudgel, but it actually has a lamp on it. He's like carrying it around. And in his other arm is a big, like around him is like a big backpack satchel thing. And he has a big book-looking thing in his hand, and he kind of rolls up to one of the walls and starts like poking through it, like looking into the crevices and little gears and stuff. And then he wheels a little bit in y'all's direction. And he's looking through some of the walls near the panel.
Everyone, shh, quiet, quiet.
And he's just sort of... Nope. Too early. He sort of rolls lower. Rolls around. And he looks through another section of the wall. Wrong region. Apocryphal.
And he's talking.
And he's just sort of like, he seems to be assessing what he's seeing in the stacks.
So is he coming closer?
He is rolling a little closer towards your area.
Going to... Oh gosh. What am I gonna do? I think... Okay. Going to go ahead and... try to... tint the back of the glass.
Okay.
Using minor illusion.
Okay. So you and the see-through that you can get, it just goes. How dark you want to go? You want to go real like opaque, or you want to go like real dark, but you can sort of see a little through it?
Yeah, the just like kind of obscure. So like think if like shower glass were tinted.
Okay. So like frosted and dark.
I mean, mostly the dark, but like that's the level of obscuring that he's going for. Is not like trying to make it pitch black, but like, yeah, dusky.
Gotcha. So he rolls around, rolls past, like he's looking through as he's consulting this book in his hand, and rolls a little just before your panel. He's looking through. He looks at the panel. Is like looking straight at you in terms of like looking at the panel. Not on the list. He rolls by. Keeps going.
I think we're safe.
From what?
Well, it looked like there was one of them Clockwork fellas, kind of seen better days. I don't know what he was doing. He was kind of looking like he was checking out the catalog of some sort. I mean, some sort of custodian, maybe? I don't know. You want me to ask him for directions?
Jesus. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, according to your theory, doesn't that mean he's safe since we don't know his name?
But, I mean, what if he does have a name? We just haven't asked it yet.
True.
Oh yeah, what would you do in this situation if you were me?
You hear some clanking. Paru, you recognize the sound.
Ooh, even sleepy
Yeah.
Paru?
I mean, you don't forget the sound of giant metal spiders.
I don't like spider noises. Those sound like the little clinky spiders I was talking about.
And Harlan, you hear the little clockwork guy go, "Woo!" and rush off, and the spiders chase after him.
Out, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they,
Are they
That's-
predatory? Like,
I mean,
should
they
we be
were-
worried?
They were taking apart gears and sending it off into this white, shiny void.
Maybe he said he'd seen better days. Maybe he's an out of print book. Or
Ooh. So maybe they want to, like,
oh, don't take that as like gospel. I'm just shooting the shit right now.
well, it sure would be nice if they, like, take him to a book on engineering or something. A book about the fine points of motor oil, the 101 ways to remove rust from your clockwork automatons.
It's either like a Mechanist health magazine or a Mechanist magazine you hide under your bed.
Why would you hide a magazine under your bed?
I saw one of those magazines in open Mike's bar. Really built out armor panels. It was quite impressive.
It's quite the chassis. It's just
Open Mike. I forgot about him. Oh my God.
How could you forget about open mic? Love.
So do you do anything or you just sit tight?
Do we?
They seem to have passed. If anything, that little rolly ball dude seems to have distracted them from whatever they were doing.
Well, I mean, I think we'd be safe to continue our rest. I do feel somewhat responsible should something befall that.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, he was chased down by some robotic spiders, and I did nothing. I stood by.
Makes you feel better. I'm pretty sure he's fictional.
Some of the best people I know are fictional.
I was gonna say technically so is
Ow.
Amadine.
Sorry, didn't mean to be distasteful.
Well, I mean,
Well, I'm gonna rest.
You have enough room?
I'm fine. I am perfectly fine where I am. And,
how are you doing, Shug?
I mean,
you still got 10 minutes.
okay. Um, I'm Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my sound cut out. Would you be willing at some point here pretty soon to sit down and figure some stuff out?
I mean, I have to take time to figure stuff out all the time. What are we talking about?
Do you remember that weensy little thing I mentioned about the boat and I mentioned the boat. About maybe cutting it a little too close. Do you recall that?
Like cutting it a little too close. Like we're talking about, like you were cutting out like paper craft and you were going outside the dotted lines, or what do you mean?
I didn't happen to tell you about what went down with Misery, did I?
No, you seem to think that you seem to have a mixed opinion of her, but no, you didn't go into too much detail. I don't think.
Um, I'm... Do you ever think about Rose Upon the River?
Well, I mean, kind of hard not to. Kind of spent, a good amount of time there. Made a lot of memories.
Like, actually happy there?
Sorry, the first half of that cut out.
Were you happy there?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it definitely did come as some shock that, we weren't. We did not instigate the particular choice to stay there. But, I mean, the things we did there were fun. The things we did there were good. I mean,
Thing was true about it not really being forced upon us, and really it was rather some sort of manifestation of what we really want.
well, now that brings up an interesting point. You know, there was one person that wasn't affected by Rose Upon the River. Is that blonde lawyer lady that was being held prisoner? I forget what her name was.
Ileana.
I was suddenly reminded her name is Ileana.
It's okay. Up in your hat, you hear.
Thanks, Puds. So,
Puds.
so I mean, it didn't work on her, which means that not everybody is. Man, these stringed instruments are just.
Sorry, it's fucking worse balancing between these tracks.
So, not everybody was as susceptible to whatever was going on there, which means that the people that were there were somehow susceptible to it, which means that there was something maybe inside of us, like you said, that it latched onto. Maybe there was something inside us that wanted something like that.
Does that theory imply that Ileana already had everything she wanted?
I mean, bitches put together. She's a boss bitch.
I mean, I didn't get much opportunity to speak with her, but I mean, it's possible.
I can clarify this a little bit. Ileana had only recently come back. Like, she had only been there. Oh, gotcha. Come on.
Kyle knew that, but Harlan didn't.
Gotcha. But that's a very charming conclusion to come.
Oh wait, Oliette would have known that. Because I was there when we bust her out of jail. Okay. Alright, well. Yeah. I guess there's no way to know, is there?
No, I mean, well, I mean, there is a way to know, I guess. Is we go back to Rose Upon the River and see if anybody stayed.
Do you think there's information about Rose Upon the River in here?
I mean, that I guess it depends on when this book was written, right? Or if it's still being written. If it's a work in progress, then it stands to reason that recent events might be cataloged in it. So it's possible, I'm sure.
God tell Beza that they didn't know that we were there?
I think she had said that we were an unaccounted for part of the equation. Not necessarily that they didn't know we were there.
Your appearance in Rose Upon the River had not been calculated for. They became aware of you, like in a more concrete way the moment Beza made contact. They actually could start like seeing you a little bit, but they can't really predict where you're gonna be or anything. You're just kind of chaotic.
No. Well, don't tell anybody this.
My lips are sealed and my ears are wide open.
Would you believe me if I told you that I think that might have been the happiest I've ever been?
Sorry, this music is so intense.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, I just now I'm just looking back and I'm thinking, how I was feeling, and I think I was pretty damn happy myself. I don't care if we were just play acting. Had I spent the rest of my days as that version of me, my life would not have been lacking. I mean,
You're
I
not.
was fast tracking the mayor.
Assistant to the event coordinating committee, mayor, fast track.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Just hoping scandals took out the rest of the hierarchy so that he could just join immediately.
She buys her blueberry pies at the grocer.
I'll just sidle up a little closer to Harland and lace my fingers through his. And just listen for any more of these spiders.
Okay.
I think it's about my turn for watch, probably. So
It is also about time. Ironically, you can stop talking in questions now. I was like, man, right under the wire. Is she gonna make it? There we go. End of the story. Or end of the scene.
Amazing. Bravo, Chris. Bravo.
that's always harder to do than you think it's gonna be.
Oh, it's great though. Brussels sprouts forever. Thank you, man.
Oh.
It's the most nonsense, but still no more nonsense than like any other ship name in anything. So,
I maintain that the Villain Paru ship is crime buddies.
Crime buds.
Crime buds. Their first interaction, I maintain, is the ship name.
All right. So, let's say, I mean, Oliette, it'd be your turn to do watch then. So, go ahead and give me a check. You also, that will count as another short rest. So if you need to do more hit dice and you weren't happy with what you done, fine.
My hit dice are not treating me well, so I'm just gonna hold on to a couple more just to. Okay. I don't know.
It's like the first time we've ever used hit dice. It's
Yeah, I know,
And
intense.
an extra d6 too, because
Oh, right, right.
Oh, that's right. Let me roll that super quirk. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Sweet. Oh, I don't know why I erased those. Anyway,
Oh, that's
Cool.
right. Villain's fine, but I forgot that he used a bunch of his hit dice to to pump up his smite. It's fine.
amazing.
It's fine. He's fine. He's only
Okay.
yeah, he's only like 2 away from max.
17.
17. Awesome. No, that's really good.
I do want to, during this check, I want to try to slip out
Okay.
from where we're hiding and check on those two that Paru said that she saw.
Sure.
And see if
okay,
those
so-
other ones are closer.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
we have 9.
We have
I'm gonna
rerolls.
use a reroll.
Yeah,
That
you
was
said
a
you have
nat-
9.
That was a
Correct.
fat
8 now.
one. Oh my god, that's 2 nat ones in a row.
One more.
You did it. Go
There's
for
a
it, go for
charm.
it.
I'm gonna roll a different die.
Okay, that sounds good.
Heck that one. Okay.
Heckin'.
I mean, better than a 1.
12.
Okay,
It was
12.
an 8.
Oh no.
No, they rolled the same number. 8. But what's your 4? Yeah. Okay. So you follow the directions that Paru had. It was like just around the block, kitty corner right away, and you go down the alley, and you hear that same noise that Paru described, that whirring, whooshing noise. And you see a little glimpse of a spider, one of these clockwork spiders, working in the portal. Give me one more stealth check, because it was as you get closer. Like, if you're gonna, do you get any closer than about 30 feet away, or do you stay back?
Can I see clearly kind of what they're up to, or if they've made progress based on her description?
They seem like they're maybe a little deeper and maybe a little higher up on that building. So they might have made a little progress. They're not going down as much. They're kind of at like an even angle. Like maybe they started going downward and then they're like making their way up.
And you said as they're putting these pieces into the portal, they're turning into words?
You'd have to get closer to confirm that. That's what Paru said. All you're seeing is the 2 spiders just kind of like dancing around each other along this portal space.
Okay.
And you see little motes of light, but you can't see any detail.
I'm gonna use my... I'm gonna get a little closer so I can see the words.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Give me another stealth check.
Okay. Okay. 15.
15. All right. You get a little closer, and it does not seem to upset their movements at all. You kind of get a chance to look a little bit down, and yeah, this space looks like it's being... Again, it doesn't look like it's being burned away. It has that, like, maybe that telltale sign a little bit upon first glance. But yeah, you watch as they're kind of like piece by piece, screw by screw, gear by gear, taking things apart with a couple of these little, very meticulous little hands and letting out these motes of light that have concepts and pictures and like little glimpses of imagery or sound. You even hear a little bit of like speaking or a little bit of music. It's a bit of a cacophony of noise, but very gentle, very like a whisper. And it just sort of floats towards the tunnel and just starts drifting into it. And they keep working.
Okay, well, if I can't really get a read on what the information is, then I'm going to just head back and try and check on the flying things as well.
So you go a little higher just to kind of look around.
Mm-hmm.
So you flutter up a bit, and you just see more of the pack manning that's happening. They're just floating along the roads. You see the big one in the distance that passed you is just moving into the infinite distance. And as you're up there, you hear like some more chittering from below, and you glance down, like up against the wall, glance down, and you see one of the spiders that was in the tunnel kind of peer out and start climbing down the wall away from you, as you see a small figure, poorly obscured, in one of the alcoves that you ironically are hiding in around the way. And it looks like a little mechanical dude with wheels, or with like an orb. And the little spider is like little. This thing is a medium creature. It's pretty big. It starts chasing after, or it like starts heading towards the little mechanical dude.
Well,
And
good luck. I'm just gonna
rolls
go
away.
back to... Yeah.
Okay. Hi Raiders, hi Raven. So you sneak on back to the hidey hole. And you don't hear anything else. And then you see, across the street, the door slide a little. And you see Amadine sort of like slip across the street. And she's sort of being real stealth, coming towards you all in the other hidey hole. And she barely has to do anything. She just kind of brushes it aside like it's a curtain, and she steps past the panel. Oh, okay, there's a lot going on in here. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be jealous. It's because you don't have a bunk bed.
Harvey was like fully curled up in Valane's lap in Vin's lap. At this
Oh,
point.
no, I will try to contain my envy.
Doing a great job.
So, I heard some things. You saw the little guy, right?
Yes. He is assessing or investigating something, but the spiders scared him off for the time being.
Yeah, I think he's searching for something.
Man,
I wonder if
we
there's a way
all-
to figure out what it is.
Ask him. He doesn't seem to be on good terms with the status quo around here. Maybe
Oh,
he's a little
know.
renegade piece. I don't
okay.
Maybe we can. I mean, do y'all have room on your side, or do we have room on our side for?
I can make room. I mean, I could just take the beds away. Doable.
Haru will be done sleeping here shortly. We'll wait, and then as soon as she gets up, we'll put the beds away. If I get close enough, I can hear what he's thinking. I didn't think about trying that.
There you go.
That'll let us know whether or not we should approach him.
I mean,
Huh.
can you turn invisible?
I can do all sorts of things.
I am well aware.
Vin rolls
Oh,
his eyes and crawls back into the bed and just kind of scoots next to Par, like, just keep resting. Almost done.
Can you turn invisible, Harlan?
Only very briefly.
Okay.
And
Briefly,
nobody
like...
can be looking at me.
Okay.
Harland has no object permanence. Confirmed.
Right. Okay, well, maybe you... If you can, maybe you can come with me. I'm...
When I say only very briefly, I mean
Like you
When
hold
someone
your
blinks.
like you hold your breath. And that's how long you can be.
if it's like a DBZ power, yeah.
Okay.
I might be able to help a little bit with both
I'm
of
not
you,
as-
but especially with Harland, seeing as he is a contrasting, complementary color. I'm not. Angela's not as good with color theory. Amadine's excellent at the color theory, so she would say the right word. Given that he will pop quite a bit in his current hue, but I might be able to help a bit, blend in a bit better.
Yeah, ain't the first time I've worn makeup.
Right, so blue to orange.
That would be complimentary.
There, complimentary, thank you. She said the right word. I didn't. I think I actually said the right word first. So, she does a little bit more than turn you orange. You watch as Amadine pulls out her quill and starts sort of almost painting. Not even touching you, but just sort of like sort of eyeball it, and then
Can you do a unicorn?
that would be counterproductive.
Oh.
Thank you for your input. Next time, if we end up in a unicorn book, I can do that for you. Also, I'm not a face painter at a kid's party.
I mean, you'd be great at it.
Thanks. Anyway, and she she goes back to work, and Harland, you. God damn it. Anyway, so she starts coloring around, and you end up having this almost, I mean, for lack of a better term, steampunk camouflage. You're like, you've got a bit of metallic to you, like you're gold or brass, and then there's like these weird lines that don't seem like they make a lot of logical sense, but if you stop moving in front of the gears, you kind of blend. I mean, you can go straight invisible if you need to really be hidden, but that should help a lot.
Well, this is just the fanciest thing I've ever worn.
I mean, I do better work when... Never mind. Clothes are great. You can keep wearing your clothes.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I appreciate your permission to stay.
No, it was more of a request than permission, but it's fine.
You went there around the pumpkin patch.
It wasn't that bad. right.
Oliette, you feel a sudden tap at your shoulder as Vin has his hand out for a high five.
Just like not even looking. High five.
All right. So, Oliette and Harlan, you're gonna go traipsing about, trying to read the little guy's mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Vin says, "We'll stick here." Or no, we're gonna wait till Paru's done resting. So we all go. Is that
Well, I
is
was
that the
saying,
idea?
I was.
Or you're
well,
gonna
I was
scout ahead?
saying, if this is still during my watch,
Mhm.
because I just came back and reported it.
We can have this
then we
during your
can-
watch if you go right away.
Yeah,
though.
let's do it now,
why
because
don't you
then
guys
at the end of 6
Cool.
hours, I just know that after about 6 hours, Paru really starts to feel better, usually. So
About 8, but sure.
Yeah.
whatever.
Son,
Close enough.
8 hours.
Darn lack of.
Well, if she does the
So it
last
was-
2 hours as her watch,
Sure, if she doesn't do anything super strenuous for 2 hours.
yeah, for 2 hours after she wakes up, then she should.
But
be
like casting spells counts as strenuous activity. Ability checks count as strenuous activity. I was giving you the benefit when you're on watch, you're gonna do a little more. So, because I'm nice. I'm nice like that. All right, so Oliette and Harlan painted like the wall. You head out. So you start looking for any sound or any sign of this creature or the spiders, because they seem to go after him.
If I remember where he was, I might
Yeah.
start in that direction.
Sure,
and
you
just-
go around the other way, end up in the alley on the other end, and go ahead and both of you give me perception checks. Oh, also, Oliette, are you invisible or are you just sneaking around?
I'm not invisible currently.
Okay, but you're sneaking around.
It's
Oh,
very, very brief, so I have to be.
gotcha. You both are approximately invisible for a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll with Tides of Chaos.
Thank you. I love it.
18.
18, okay. That's good. That's great.
4.
4. Oh, you were rolling perception, not stealth.
Perception.
Yeah, because I thought for a second I rolled thinking you were rolling stealth, and I rolled a nat 1. It was funny. Anyway, so no, the dice
No, I
meant
mean,
nothing.
it was the stealth roll.
No, it meant nothing. So perception. Olia, you're focused on where he was. You're looking around the space, trying to see if you can see him again, and you get a little distracted by the tunnel still active. They're still, you can't quite tell if both of the spiders are there or if only one of them is. And you're kind of trying to confirm a little bit while Harlan glances the other direction. And you, Harlan, see a little mote of light down like 1 block over through a hallway, like this little aura. It's not really a moat, it's more of an aura coming from down the alley. That is not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily ping as, oh, that's the guy or something, but it's certainly unusual. The rest of this place is very evenly lit, and the only other light you see that's even remotely like that is the tunnel that's down the alley that you're currently looking at.
I think I might see something.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like it's like little fireflies made of that tunnel stuff. Yeah, it's on down this way.
he was
check it
carrying like a lamp, so maybe that is.
Yes, he was. Yes. That might be it. Definitely worth checking out.
Okay, guess we'll go in that direction.
Cool.
How,
You start-
how do I look? Is this a slimming look? Is this
He looks like a member of Steam Powered Giraffe.
You look wonderful.
Hey, they do too.
They do. I love it.
I just need Harlan to cross the street doing the robot. Do a little, like, trying to sneak his way across.
Oh my god.
Can people pop and lock doing the worm? Is that a thing?
Ow, that feels painful.
Sounds like a series of spinal injuries is what
It
that
really
sounds like.
does. It really does.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so, you start heading that direction, and, you see something very bizarre, unexpected. You do, in fact, see the little guy, and the little club that has the lantern stuck on it is sitting on the ground and almost like let out little prongs and is now a standable lantern. And the lantern piece is open. And it looks like light has just started pouring out of it. And the little clockwork guy is kind of crouched, almost like he's squatting down. And he's looking at the focus of where all of this light is descending out of the lantern. And you see what almost looks like an owl, like made of light, that sort of emerges out of the lantern, kind of shakes out its wings a little bit. And little mechanical guy kind of goes, he has a little scritch on the head and seems like he's sort of gesticulating and talking to it. But he's like down, like he's about like a third of the way down another alley. So you can kind of see what's going on, but he has not. Oh, give me stealth checks if you're trying to sneak up.
Does the paint add anything to...
He will have a harder time seeing you. His perception will be at disadvantage to see you, Harlan.
That's great. That's good.
How many rerolls do we have?
7.
Oh lordy. We're going through them tonight.
That's okay.
Yeah,
They're there to be
don't,
used.
I'm gonna say don't use it. He rolled a nat 20.
Just
For you. Don't use it.
Don't do it.
1,
He
so
rolled-
this is as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, he rolled a 16 for Harlan with the disadvantage.
I got a 14, so that was...
Actually, no, wait. It was a 16 and an 11. He rolled an 11 on you, Harlan. So you're... And you just have a little too much contrast with the world around you right now, Oliet. And what actually happens, though, it's not that the robot guy sees you. The owl sort of turns a little bit with its head and sees you. Doesn't seem frightened or anything of you. It's just kind of considering you. The little robot guy follows the gaze and is like, and like rolls a little bit, and you see the owl kind of like mussing with its feathers a little bit, and the robot seems to be listening to the owl and isn't running. Wiggles his little iron mustache. He has a little curly handlebar.
That is the best thing.
I love
That is
it.
the best thing you've said tonight.
I put his picture in the chat.
Yes.
Yay.
I will send it, rather. I will send it. With appropriate attribution.
Yes.
You say anything? You're just in like kind of lockstep with each other, like holding this book like for dear life.
Are we close enough that I could speak in like a hushed? I don't want to have to like scream across the.
You're probably within 50 feet of him. Like you're still like he caught you while you were crossing the street.
Cool.
So you could cross the street. He doesn't seem to be running.
Gonna approach real slowly and very like trying to give off like this is chill, bruh vibes. Like no one needs to freak out. But I'll try to get a little closer. I'm gonna try to get within. I'll get a little closer and say. You don't by any chance speak common, do you?
He says essentially the equivalent of no hablo inglés in Celestial. I know you do.
Oh.
Hold on, what's your passive insight?
14.
14? He's lying. Harlan heard him speaking common.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He just kind of shrugs, like, darn.
Okay.
But he also answered you. So, like...
I'm like a long look. And I will... I guess in Celestial respond back. That's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. I speak Celestial as well, so I just have a few questions and then we're going to make our way out of here. Is that okay?
I love that you're defining for me what I have to respond with, and I love it so much.
I love this. This made my day.
Great! There's a way for us to communicate. Huzzah!
Yeah, doesn't it? Where are we? And what are you doing? You seem to be looking for something.
Yes, that is my function.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I am, I try to find things that are in the index when someone needs something from the index.
Then you can help us find something as well.
He's a search bot.
My
He's
name
the search
is
engine.
my
He's
name
literally Jeeves.
My name is Bullion. His name is actually Bullion.
Boolean, like Julian, but with a boo.
With a Bullion.
Boolean. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Spelled like boo. Yes, he is a search engine. He's literally
amazing.
He's like a little diesel. So Harlan, you hear Oliette and him speaking in this very light and airy sound. It's very tonal. It almost sounds a little like music. And you have no fucking clue what they're saying. Is that the face he's making? Like, yes, very interesting.
Just like smile and nod, just kind of like,
Harlan, as you're sitting there going, I don't know. You hear as Puddles wanders over to the owl. And the owl kind of turns its head a little bit.
Yes.
And sort of like hops forward a little bit as Puddles is just like and the owl sort of shifts a little bit, turns into a turtle duck, and makes a very pretty echoey sort of with like, hold on. It's totally worth it. I promise. It'll be totally worth it.
Oh, someone can see him.
I don't know if that had an echo, but it was funny to me. Oh, I tried to put on my echoes. Oh wait, hold on.
There you go.
You might want to turn
You're
it off.
still
though.
echoing.
Okay, it's done now. So, yeah, and Olya, you see that too. You don't see puddles, but you see the owl turn into what is clearly puddles, since you did see him at one point. Questioned your sanity, but you did see him. Huh. That's a curious look for you, he says in common. I mean, I don't know how to speak.
Super.
Okay.
Perfect. That's super convenient. I can speak a lot faster in common.
Yes, hello.
Who are you looking for things on behalf of? Who are you working for?
That is not part of my protocols, honestly. I am just given a search term, and I am requested to bring it back.
By anyone?
Yes, but I am, as I said, currently on mission for the last while.
How long is it? What?
Time is relative. And that's all I wish to say about that.
So what you been looking for?
Well, I have a very strict confidentiality. You wanna
Can
give me
you
an
conduct
insight
two
check, Olya?
searches at once?
That is why there was usually more than one of us. No.
Inched in close enough to... Have I inched
Threaten
in?
him?
I should tell you how I deal with mood runs.
God.
No, am I within... How far does it have to be? 30 feet?
Oh yeah, you're well within 30 feet of him.
Okay. I'm just gonna...
You probably
Kick on.
all instinctively huddled a little closer, even though you didn't know or trust each other. It was like, okay,
Perfect.
anything in here, way less bad than whatever's out there. So
Sure.
you probably all scooted in a little bit. Yes, absolutely, you are within 30 feet of him.
Okay, I will kick on Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Um,
You are bombarded with so much thought, so many, like, it is stream of consciousness to a point, to a speed that it is very difficult to comprehend. In a bunch of different languages, you barely can make out any words, but you do make out a word suddenly in a flash. 2 words, actually. In common, Pinball Rextrum. And then you suddenly realize, like, in Celestial, in Common, in Infernal, not that a proper name is really translated that much in language translation, but yeah, that's all that's running. That's all that's running through his head. You're hearing like different ways of describing him. You hear like glitter wizard, general of the like
and Daddy.
General of the for like some sort of officer of the resistance forces against the Mechanist invasion. Artificer and entrepreneur. You find all these different like almost like synonym terms, like someone's doing a broad search.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't like that.
I will. I'll try to drown it out long enough to lean over to Harland.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him. I'll whisper into Harland's ear. Can you ask him again who he works for, quickly?
Hey, so you can't tell us what you're looking for, but
Nope, quite not appropriate at this venture for my work.
who are you working for?
Again, that's terribly, terribly private and inappropriate for you to ask.
I work for Her Majesty of the Folk.
That's
My name's
one.
Harlan, by the way.
That's wonderful, Bullion. Hello, thank you. A Bullion. I don't have a proper name, but we are all Bullions.
Welcome, Raiders.
Okay. While Harlan asks that question,
Correct.
I want to try and tune in and see if it flashes around in there.
Sure. You see, you hear these words again, all these words, and you start filtering down in the words, and you're almost able to make out an actual voice. Okay, maybe we can try this again. So what about... Great and mighty lost general of the defense of Thuria against the Mechanist. What about that? God damn it. Okay, what about like personal diaries? Like, hi, my name is Pimble and I'm so handsome, unbelievably attractive that everyone within a 10-mile radius...
Googling himself?
For good reason. This man doesn't remember anything.
Amazing.
So I hear
Just a little, like, through the chatter, you can hear his terms, and then when he says it, it gets translated into a bunch of words in different languages.
Interesting. Okay.
So as I said, that's incredibly inappropriate for you to be asking, and I would very much appreciate it if you would stop influencing my. Well, I don't really know what it is, but stop making it do that.
I would love to be able to have some manner of control over Sir Puds, but I do not claim ownership of him. It's more like he oversees me.
Him what? Him who? You're doing things to my, well, I guess it's not technically an owl. My aspect is not to be tampered with.
I haven't done that. Your aspect is doing that of its own accord.
You have a job to do. And the floaty yellow turtle duck looks up at Bullion and says,
Were more of you? Are you the only one?
we have been phased out quite expertly. More advanced search features, more advanced methodologies for seeking information, and most things. Bullion will be quite obsolete once everything has been. This is Angela losing the word. Once everything has been transubstantiated.
You talking about them spider things that was chasing you up and down the halls?
Yes, them.
What
Quite
are
delightful,
those
aren't they? They are a pain in my wheel. Well, yes, but they are tasked with the great the Great Ascension.
So they work for like the authority then.
Work for? That's an interesting way to put it. Yes, we all operate in service of the grand scheme, the great equation, and all that. Just like genuflex to the sky.
Oh yeah, we heard about that. We're remnants.
Remainders.
Or remainders. That's the one.
Remain. That's
No need to
interesting.
panic. No need to panic.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
There is a place. There is a place for us. We're
There's
just looking.
a place for us. Where is the wheel of causality when we have to make musical references?
We just are on our way back to where we belong. Everything will be sorted out soon.
Mm-hmm. You know, I just realized I have a really good Warforged voice that I could have used for this guy. Anyway, it's fine. This is for the best. When you say remainders, Harland, the turtle duck turns back into an owl and flutters onto your shoulder. Doesn't feel like anything, just kind of sits there. It's made of light. And sort of just watching you. You touch it, your finger kind of just like goes through it. It's just made of light.
Oh, most dissatisfying boop I've ever booped.
Boop. Is back in your voice.
Oh no, that's a neat trick.
You've named it now. Its name is Boop.
Boop and Boolean, like Boolean and boop. Oh no.
Anyway, so you probably have a lot of things to do, being all
Remaindery and stuff.
antithetical to the equation and all.
That's a really strong word.
Both of them were quite strong, actually.
Well, yes, we're not going to bother you for long.
Which implies you will continue bothering me, yes? Continue.
Yeah. What's that center thing? The orb with the
Certainly not the Windows
Wheels.
Explorer window.
the little spinning mechanism. What is that?
That is one of the conduits.
There's more than one.
Spread very, very far out. Yes. It is where the, well, you know, the transubstantiation needs a connection, and then in order to ascend all the knowledge to its resting place. And all that.
So if that thing were taken out of the equation, then you wouldn't be obsolete anymore.
That's a big if. Sure, if you want to get hypothetical about it, I suppose, but I am fine doing my job through sleet or snow, as it were, with absolutely no weather. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. That's a 5 on the die. That's a 16.
He rolled a 3.
Jesus
Wow.
That's my thing.
The insight on this. The insight on this boy. So you sense that this is a creature thoroughly terrified at the prospect of what would happen to him if he even entertained the thought of dismantling the status quo. He is clearly, to be honest, Harland, seems like he's a little bit of a remainder himself. And he's a little nervous at the prospect of, oh no, I'm fraternizing with more of us now. I don't want to be around them. Almost like he's, I don't know, maybe hoping somehow if he just does his job, maybe he'll not get decommissioned.
Ooh. Toxic relationship with your boss.
Trickle down is a fallacy. Anyway,
Hey, I have so many anarcho-socialist NPCs. Anyway, continue. Anything else you'd like to ask me as I am still looking around for my quarry? Quarry?
probably going to be at that for a little while.
I'm hunting queries.
There's nobody there, right? It's just a way of transporting everything that's here into where it's going. Do you know where it's going?
Yes, of
Great
course.
resting place. What is it?
Yes, the Grand Archive. The great celestial library where all knowledge is reposited.
Wonderful.
What happens to that knowledge once it is reposited?
Oh my, that is not within my purview to know. The gods of all knowledge and understanding are responsible for what happens in the archive. When you ask that question, the owl, even though the owl was completely insubstantial, when you tried to boop it, it goes and kind of like bops you on the face, like on the side of the face.
It booped you back.
So they only send the information, correct? Have you ever seen or heard of some entity, someone going through to that place? Not just data?
Entity.
Yeah,
Right.
like what would happen if one of those little spiders fell through? The ones that are taking it apart.
It's my understanding that the grand transubstantiation, the ascension, only manifests for ideas and concepts and things that have been collected in the Mechanist archive.
Oh, okay. That's helpful to know.
Though I suppose you could transmit other things that would allow for something to arrive in the archive.
Like, hypothetically, if, let's say, I wanted to send, like, a candy bar through...
What's your name again? Did you say it was Mike?
The question remains true to this particular session of D&D. If we were to want to send a physical object through to the archive, or maybe access the information that's in the archive,
To a world of clockwork violations.
Oh my God.
I have never conceptualized something like that. I was merely thinking that certain information could theoretically be transported. Say, like, if you had a teleportation circle, runes or something, you could potentially travel to the archive, maybe. I don't know. I've never thought about that, because that's not really my lane. I tend to stay in that, for me.
Boolean.
Yes.
I'm gonna venture a guess that by your self-preservation instinct, you'd rather not be decommissioned.
Very much so. That's why I'm continuing to work.
Okay.
Someone will notice my efforts. Someday.
What if that someone is us?
You are not a member of the Mechanist Authority. I can quite tell you are about as high a water content as any creature that has ever been here before.
Yes, I am. What?
humid.
You saying that we're wet blankets?
Technically, if you have water content, you are water. Therefore, you cannot be wet before water cannot be wet. Wetness is the presence of water, is the presence of having water on you, but water can't have water on it. And this is what you can look forward to with this guy.
Harlan is just.
You get pecked again, but actually no, you know what? The owl like reaches forward and like pulls a beard hair out of your face to get you back into the moment.
Listen, I don't want to be the.
Yes,
That's
you
not
do.
true. I love being the bearer of bad news. They're probably gonna shut your program down. I think you're gonna. I don't think.
I think I have plenty of life left in me. I have a whole. I could. Fair enough.
Well, we're somewhere else where they couldn't shut you down.
What does that? He has the same look on his face that Harlan had on his face when he was explaining water and wetness.
There's another place where people just like you are somewhere else, not here under constant threat of death by spider slash you becoming obsolete whole thing.
Okay.
Don't panic.
Let's say hypothetically, just a thought experiment. If that sort of place were to exist, where would that be? Maybe where would you a place like that? Maybe.
Get you there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not here.
But what? Right, but here is where I can do the search.
Yes, but what if I told you that I know where your query is? It's in the same place that's not here.
Give me a deception check.
Is it a deception check?
Where are you proposing taking him?
Open mics.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check then. If Oliette doesn't think she's lying.
I think that I'm trying to convince him that there is a little place where other like-minded individuals are finding a new life and a new purpose in some random bar games that involve cleaning. So
this is, of course, assuming that fictional characters can exit the book.
Listen,
yes.
I don't know one way or the other.
You wanna?
We'll find out.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay, that's a 21.
21. Would there perhaps be library there?
Not a library, but there's a bookstore that has extremely rare information that's not in the same place, it's down the road, but you would have access. There is a very, very gifted keeper of books in this place.
You talking about Dragon Lord?
A Dragon Lord is an assistant to the very, very
Dragon
gifted
Lord Skull Crusher. He just got a surname. Yeah.
Yes. Dragon Lord Skull Crusher, the best flump to have ever flumped.
Anyway, sorry, that's Goo Wizard.
Oh my God.
Jelly Wizard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, give me an insight check, roll.
What's my insight? Oh, it's actually decent. 18.
Just in case fictional characters cannot exit books, just in case, You know of another library. Very
I
big
do know
library.
of another library, and they're kind of retired. They're done. They're done. Their sorting days are over. My point is,
You mean there's a position available?
yes. Do you know how hard it is to staff a bookstore? Yes. I just need you to help us navigate in here a little bit, and then we can take you somewhere else.
And you, Harland, the owl kind of flaps a little bit on its perch on your shoulder. And Bullion looks over at the owl. Don't you start.
I mean, seems that Boop here wants to go
Boop.
with us. Yeah, that's what I'm calling him.
Boop. My religious aspect is Boop.
Oh no.
I mean, that's a term of ultimate endearment and love and affection.
Give me a bullshit roll,
I'll do
Leanne.
that. Yeah, I will do that. Oops, that landed on a bunch of other dice. Hold on.
Note to self, must call girlfriend Boop from now on.
Would you say that bullshit falls into deception?
Yeah, I would say that's where
Dirty
that
20.
Fuck you.
Nice.
Yeah. He doesn't know any better. He's never heard that word before, probably. Okay.
It's only given to the most adorable of interactions, so.
That is
Yep.
actual truth.
You only boop the things that you like, or that you appreciate.
Or if it's the only thing left to boop at 2 a.m. in the bar, but whatever.
Hell yeah.
Level,
Somewhere you're getting another high five from Vin.
Like in their sleep.
Hey, real quick, I was just wondering, can I? You seem to have. Can I help fix you?
How incredibly rude.
I mean,
Why?
you
What
seem
can you
like
do?
Well, I mean, I can patch up. You know, it'd take me a little bit, but I can. You know, I might be able to.
Oh, hey, Kyle.
You know, it's like.
Can you give me that?
We go to.
Kyle, can you give me that D10,000 real quick?
Oh boy.
No reason.
575.
Continue, please. Continue with your very important thing.
Well, yeah, I got a little spell that I can do that, you know, it's like we go to barbers and, you know, stylists and whatnot, and I just be offering a similar service for you, a little bit of spit shine, and, you
You're
know.
going to spit on me. I'm sorry, I'm not.
It's a turn of phrase. It's a turn of phrase. That I'm not.
Okay.
I don't actually spit during a spit shine.
Okay.
Especially not on metal. It might rust.
Okay. He doesn't move, but he doesn't say no. He's like,
All right, let me see. All right, let me see. Let me see the back of that hand there. Just the back of the hand. And Harlan will go fishing through a belt pouch and like take out two like lumpy looking gray rocks and put them on either side of the panel on his backhand and cast mending.
you just have to touch, or do you have to hold?
It's touch, casting time 1 minute.
Okay. So you sort of put the little stones between, and he like rests his hand into yours, and immediately, boom, you hit the ground like Mjolnir. Like you try to pick up Thor's hammer. Because for the rest of the scene, or for the rest of the session, you cannot carry anything made entirely of metal. That was a very good roll. You hit the ground, you're like, oh, okay. Your hand is kind of caught underneath. Oh, I'm so sorry. And he pulls away a little bit. And he offers his other hand to help you up.
Thanks. That's a
This
little
is
strange.
grinding orb trying to pick you back up.
Thanks. I think I can manage.
Oh, okay. Okay, you insist. Looks relieved that you said, no, you don't have to do it.
All right, just hold your hand. Don't rest your hand. I'm gonna try that again. I'm
Okay,
just gonna
okay.
yeah, sideways. Let's do it sideways this time.
Sure.
You know, just up
Here
and
you go.
down. You know, it's like a
Can we
yeah,
stop
like that.
describing it? Thank you.
We can. Yeah,
No, this is really good.
First tentacles, now robots. We're learning all sorts of things about Oliette this month.
Whatever.
Yeah, go ahead. So you cast mending, and you're just trying to like fix him up a little bit. Just
yeah.
clean him up. Yeah, he
Clean up to a foot.
Oh heck yeah! So yeah, you see that a bunch of the rust and like there's like a rust crack up his arm, like kind of ate away a little bit, and it starts cleaning and mending, and the back of his hand ends up looking not polished but solid, and you notice that his hand was sort of like in a weird clawed sort of position, and he seems like he has slight more dexterity in his hand. His mustache wiggle.
I can, you know, if we want to do something about the mustache too, we could do that. I can.
Honestly, I've gotten kind of I've grown rather fond of the color. It's like
Fair
rust
enough.
orange.
It looks good. It pops.
It's smashing.
Right, so,
Yes, you
are you in? Or like, do you wanna hang? Are you
am.
cool?
And you hear a little, Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Fine. Yes, I'm in.
Perfect. We're gonna take you back,
Mm-hmm.
where we're kind of hiding for the time being, and then we're gonna get a move on. We have to figure out what we need to do here, but
Okay.
some of our group had to rest, so
Yeah, well.
yes, this will be useful.
All right then. And he rolls over and picks up his lantern, and the little legs go back at the bottom, so it's more of a walking thing. And he holds it out, and the owl just kind of just keeps sitting on Harlan's shoulder. Fine. Kind of carries
Is
it
that-
over his shoulder.
Is that can it? Never mind.
Fuck lore.
I have a lot of questions, but it's fine. Okay, great. So I guess we'll start heading back to where everybody else is.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we're hitting that 6-hour mark by the time we get back.
Yeah.
To where we can switch out.
While you are gone, we're gonna. Oh yeah, go ahead. Anything
Okay,
else?
I was just gonna ask: do we pass by those 2 spiders on our way back? Or
You
not?
can, if you want. You can also avoid them by going around the building, since they're like in a side alley.
Okay. I just want to make sure they're still plugging away in the same spot.
Okay, give me
I
a
will
stealth
make
check.
a note. Oh, okay.
You do have to sneak up.
Oh, 22.
22? Yeah. You're able to get close, and you see that there are 2 of them. And
But they're still in the same spot and still perfect.
They've
Okay,
maybe
that's all I need.
moved a little up, but not much.
Great. Okay.
Cool. So, you wander back, and you, while you're doing all of this, we're gonna flip back real quick, to Paru. So Paru and, you're just hanging out, Vin just has his arms up on the bed, and you're just like kind of cuddled.
She kind of wakes up and, are you comfy?
Hey. Yeah, good. You?
I'm used to
You-
sleeping
you-
sitting up.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I mean, I've done it plenty of times before.
Can I ask you a question?
A little sigh. Aye?
You said something the other day. I mean, I don't even know if it's a day. The other book, the other story.
He sits up. Which book and which was what exactly?
You said that you knew that I had told you about my feelings before. Mm,
He kind of settles back a little bit, like, "Oh, we're having this conversation." Okay.
Sorry, I mean,
No,
obviously we
no,
don't,
it's fine.
I don't have any recollection of that. Like,
You don't.
none. No,
You're,
I'm confused.
it happened. Well, we were at that mad little gnome's. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I'm a mad little gnome right now. Mammon's pumpkin patch, that place.
Mhm.
And we'd just survived that creepy graveyard with the
Okay.
ghosts, and we were staying the night somewhere, and we were on the roof. I was sitting up there trying, or you were sitting up. I don't remember. It was one or the other. One of us was up
Keith.
there. Keith, right? Yeah, the little wee one. But you and I, we talked. You said that we don't have to talk about it.
I mean, I don't want. You said, you've heard of negging people. I don't want you to think that this is something that I did purposely. That
No, I didn't think that. I mean, we I thought everything was fine. We talked a bit, and then we started leaving the island. We had to take the ferry back.
fairy.
Oh yeah, he has a little bit of recognition on his face too. Baru. Not what you gave him. The cross back. That conversation. Something.
The feeling. I gave the feeling.
What? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, not your fault. Not your fault.
It's my fault.
I mean, you can't blame yourself for being honest about your feelings.
I didn't know what the fuck my feelings were at the time.
And
To be
that's
honest.
valid.
Told you that you don't remember any of it.
No.
He kind of scoots a little closer. Takes one of your hands.
I remember the friendship. I remember good feelings and warm feelings and that sense of family and things being right when I'm with you.
He squeezed his hand. They were always one feeling.
Right. But the feelings of wanting more than friendship, I don't remember feeling until after we left Rose upon the River.
And a lot happened.
It was the first time you called Nickit your kid. Because it's the same way I feel about the kittens, and it hit me. I don't know why that of all things, but it smacked me in the face.
And for a moment, he kind of stares at the ground for a little bit, thinking. And then he shifts back into the Vin falls away.
Mhm.
And Valaine's sitting there. Actually, nothing probably changes weight-wise. I don't know how, like, changing size works. Anyway, it's fine.
Hand wave it.
Yeah, he just kind of shifts in on the bed. I didn't know what I wanted or what I even thought about most things. I mean, there's still maybe still a little hang up, but I think that's always gonna be there. You know, you always care a lot about people that, even when you pass in the night.
Yeah.
Told you don't remember, but I told you that I wasn't in the right headspace to feel that way about. I was just am working through being incredibly messed up.
I think we're all messed up in one way or another.
But everything with he kind of looks down and sort of raps against the plate mail that you can't see until he does it.
Mm-hmm.
There's this little shimmer. With everything with Zasha, Baba Zasha, and my lady. I didn't realize how many pieces like, if you've ever just broken something so catastrophically that you don't think you're ever gonna find every piece. For a while, it's like I realized it wasn't all dust. There were some pieces. Kind of mimes.
It just takes time and patience.
Thanks, Whiskey.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm not. And he's still holding your hand.
Mm-hmm.
With his real hand.
I don't want you to ever do anything that makes you uncomfortable or that you don't want to do.
I'll be there. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm figuring out things. what I want, what I am comfortable with. To be honest, you're the person I'm most comfortable with.
You're a person I'm most comfortable with, too. I love our friends. But when I'm with you, it just feels like home, and I don't know why that is, but it just feels like everything fits. Makes a little bit more sense. Which, in our lives, nothing ever makes sense, so some sort of semblance is nice.
Nothing ever feels like it makes sense for me. Things maybe the tornado's a little less violent when we're hanging.
That's good.
And the kids.
Yeah. I miss them.
Thrown at me. Me really hungry. Popcorn's amazing. I was also converted to cheddar and caramel popcorn together. It's so good. I don't care about your face, Tessa. It's so good.
Like I can't. I cannot eat popcorn anymore. It just makes me sad.
I mean, I was gonna say I don't know about you, but I do know about you. But I am more than willing to see what happens.
Yeah. Me too.
I don't know what I can offer you. I don't know what I can build with someone. I'm open to surprising myself.
That's fair. Honestly, I haven't done this ever. So,
This specific, me neither.
I mean any of it, so.
Well, that stuff's not. That stuff's not.
I know. I know that. I'm just.
In the grand scheme, Chris, take that. Tone your face down. He's trying to be supportive.
Paru is more than interested and willing, but
I was gonna say, Paru, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Can I really?
Yeah, if you want
Sure,
to.
why not?
You want to?
Why not? But damn, okay. For someone who doesn't have that creative insight, let's
Which is hilarious given that you're a fucking druid.
That's a 22.
Yeah, there's a part of him that's being a little nice about that particular part. But he's being supportive. You know?
I am aware that it's.
There are lots of other things.
Yeah, I
That's
know
all. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm not opposed to any of the things, I guess is what I'm saying. I just be patient because I don't know what I'm doing.
Paru, you hear
Mm-hmm.
a tiny, weary sigh from below the beds.
Oh god, I forgot how Medina was in the first.
Should I go? And
Uh,
Valaine's like, why did you stay so long? I don't know, I thought I was gonna get good, and then it just got mushy.
Amazing.
I thought you didn't want romance shit. Oh, but embarrassing you, that balances the scales a little. Fine. She has this little smirk on her face. Wait, hold on. And she... See her grab her pen out, and then she writes something on the bed, and then she walks out.
No, it's a do not disturb or something. I have no idea. Not that this is the time or place to do any of those things. But could I kiss you? I've only ever
already-
kissed you as Vin, so
It's not exactly the same thing, but...
if it's...
I mean,
okay.
Vin's 100% down for it, just letting you know. Honestly, the others probably are too.
I don't know any of the others.
Oh, you don't.
I've only ever
I've
met
really used them
you
very
and
much.
Vin.
Well, maybe you'll meet some of the others.
Maybe.
If you want. If you want.
I am interested in every aspect of you.
And he leans over and kisses.
And she kisses him back very... probably a little bit more experimentally than just like the quick pecks that they've
Oh yeah,
had
no, yeah.
before.
Because what happens is, around this time, Oliet and Harlan come back in. You don't see them yet, but you do see written on the bed, hold on, if this clandestine, magically illusory hole is rockin', don't come a-knockin'.
God damn it.
With a little A next to it. Actually, there's no need for an A. You know exactly who wrote it because it's in rainbow ink. So yeah. But
Amazing.
you all come in and
amazing.
you both come in and you just see Valaine just kind of pop up. So how did
Haru is trying not to blush.
the walkabout go?
Good. Meet Boolean.
Hello. Oh God. Oh, sorry. Reflex. Hi.
New friend. We're gonna bust him out of here.
In exchange for me busting you out of whatever the deal was, I don't remember what the deal was.
The deal is like it's just like a you scratch our back, we scratch yours kind of a thing.
Well, I am a little more functional now. I am aware of figurative language. Joke.
I like this.
Have to laugh to not freak out.
You're funny too. Okay. So yeah.
I get one a year.
Was that another joke or
Yes, that was a joke.
okay?
Not as good as the clearly.
That was good. That was good. It's okay though. It's all right.
It's not my primary function. It's fine.
Boolean is like searching. Boolean looks for things in here, so that must be pretty handy. Once we figure out what the hell we're supposed to do in here.
What were you searching for? Anything exciting?
That's classified. I'm not supposed to tell you.
It's better if we don't know that.
Okay.
I'm like giving Kaparu like eyeballs over Boolean's head, like I've got it. I'll tell you later, kind of eyeballs.
Valaine's like,
I'm like, hey, shut up, I'm not talking to you. Ugh.
I love that Verlaine and Oliette have transitioned into this like almost like obnoxious sibling bicker. It has clearly always been there, but it has devolved back into it. Okay. And you all are in the little hidey hole. Ahmadine is back on the other side. We will resolve that. But as you're all in there, and everyone's chatting a little bit, it's a little tight quarters, the little owl flutters away from Harland and lands on Oliette's shoulder. It's light, doesn't have any weight to it. Literally light, rather. And just sort of sits
You
up.
are adorable.
It is everything. I don't
It
understand.
just kind of seems like it's just kind of like neutrally studying you. And only Oliette in this room speaks Celestial. I need to turn that off. I would recognize that flare anywhere. How is my friend Soli? And that's where we're
Deal.
gonna end.
Amazing. Amazing.
Boom, boom, knocked her out. You established what Celestial sounds like, so
And I panicked. I'm running out of voices.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. All right. So I had to find a good way to do that, like a little like keep you wanting more. So that's where we'll stop for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. We will resume with our adventures in the Mechanus Index next time, chapter 52, which I'll have to come up with a fun name for. I'm very proud of tonight's name. But we will confer as a group to decide what our holiday schedule is going to be like. I don't know what anyone else is doing, but I'm home all day. But we will talk, and we will make sure to get out what our plans are on our Twitter. So please, if you want to see if you can catch us next week, please follow us over on Twitter at We Are Nerdsmith. Once again, we're part of the Nerdsmith Network, and if you liked what you saw tonight, please consider following or subscribing to us on Patreon. We do public postings on Patreon, so you're not just limited to having to monetarily support us if you don't have the ability to do so. That's okay. We just want to make sure you have access to our cool content. So please check us out. Thank you again to our sponsors. World Anvil. Make sure you check out World Ember this month. It's a writing challenge trying to hit a certain word count for your creations, whether you're a GM for a tabletop game, or if you are an author, or if for some other reason enjoy creating worlds. You can submit your articles that you make on World Anvil for prizes. There's a lot of different categories, so please check them out at worldanvil.com and light up the forge this World Ember. We are also sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Tessa's got our very, very pretty sapphire with gold dice set. Oh, it's so pretty. I love that combination too. Complementary colors, because I remember the term now.
There we go.
They're really pretty, and they're a little clear. Am I correct?
Yeah, they're semi-translucent.
Nice.
So
they got a fun little.
They're not fully translucent, but
that's probably for the best. It probably makes them a little easier to read.
They're gorgeous.
Please check them out, and if you use the code Dice Dragons up until the 20th of December, so the next 5 days, you get 15% off your purchase as opposed to our normal 10. So please check them out, and that directly supports the network. And finally, we are proud affiliates of Hero Forge, of which I will need to make Bullion now. I unfortunately gave him a wheel. That's going to be a problem, but I'll make it work. Hero
Just turn a
Forge.
drum sideways.
I was gonna say I could just make a shield, put shields up. But if you check out Hero Forge at that link and you decide the Pro subscription, absolutely worth it. The Pro Plus subscription, if you use virtual tabletops, is fabulous because you get guaranteed digital downloads every month. So if you're trying to bring your collection up of virtual figures that you can put in your tabletop games, you should check out the Pro Plus account. But the Pro account gives you early access to all their cool features. Let's see. We're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And if you so desire, I do D&D and I do D&D prep for this campaign and for other campaigns on Monday nights on Discover RPG. I think I might. No, I don't have a code for that. I need to make one. Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for about an hour and a half. Me and fellow Nerdsmith director Franz, we hang out and we shoot the shit while I build things for this campaign and for some of my other campaigns that I run. That is all I have. Does anybody have anything else I want to say or pitch or promote? Y'all good?
Thanks to all the raiders and
Yes.
Heck yes, thank you so much, Raiders. And we just put them in the chat, but obviously if you use the codes that are on screen right now in the chat, you can find out more about all of our amazing players. Tessa playing Paru, Kyle playing Harland, and Chris playing Oliette. We are Shenanigoons, the Book of Fables, and we will see you next time. To be continued. Bye-bye.